Poo poo pee pee.
Oh, ha. Oh, ha, ha, ha. He did it on, but this time he got him. He got it in. He's been trying for weeks. He did it. He did it. Welcome, everybody. Professional show.
We are a professional show.
Professional show for Dungeons and Dragons. It's Knights of Eveningstar, everybody. Hello, welcome, 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 welcome. Ho ha 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 he he. Poo pee poo poo. Welcome. I am your Dungeon Master, Mark SherlockHulmes.
Thanks for paying us, wizards.
Thanks for paying us, wizards. We love it. Thanks for watching this incredibly professional stream. I am joined by, as always, Mr. Pee Pee Poo Poo himself, Nate Sharp. I'm joined by Jonathan Indovino, aka ShadyPenguinn, Mica Burton, and Anna Prosser. Hello, welcome, dear friends.
Hello.
Gotta get us in that right mindset. We gotta get in that. We gotta get in that wacky, high energy mindset.
Wacky.
Yeah, baby. Woo!
What's happened to all of us? We're just.
Man, I am very tired, and I'm trying
wacky,
so hard.
Yeah,
Wacky right now.
Oh, Nate!
Wow. Dude.
Wow, what a wacky guy.
I'm a wild card.
You just Look at all these.
I'm
wild,
wearing the only glasses I have, so
wild and crazy
that's what you can get.
kids.
Yeah. Welcome everybody. We got a little show for you today as we play through our Knights of Eveningstar campaign set in Cormyr, where the party are playing nobles who run a small little town now, and they are embroiled in war as we try and conclude our final season, our last season.
I was gonna make a I don't know why this is our last season joke during all the poo poo pee pee stuff, but I felt like it would be
That's too real. That's too
taking
real.
it seriously, yeah.
It's like, no, actually, probably, yeah. Before I do the recap, I'm gonna look at Anna Prosser and be like, is there anything we need to say today?
No.
Okay.
About I don't think so.
Final, not yet. Okay. All right. Nice.
Yeah,
all right. We've got double sunglasses on. Yep. Nice. I have to check in with Anna, and I always forget to do it before we go live, whether I need to mention anything. And so we have that lovely, awkward, like.
I'll check before the end, and we'll find out. But I don't think so yet.
All right. Well, stay tuned because there might be something to find out, or there might not be. You'll never know. All right. So last time we all got together. You guys had journeyed to the capital city of Cormyr, Suzail, to attend a war council at the invitation of Queen Raedra to discuss the ongoing civil war happening in Cormyr between Queen Raedra, the current ruling monarch, and your ally, and an individual called Davian Cormoril. Not Damien Cormoril, Davian Cormoril with a V. I'm stressing that for no reason whatsoever.
We about to meet a Damien today?
No. You, Shady, have been calling him Damien Cormoril for about
I know. I have.
10 episodes.
Sorry. I thought he was Damien.
You could have let it go by. You could have let it go by.
I could have done.
Called yourself out.
6 episodes left, Mark.
Come
on.
No, I'm saying Shady called himself out.
I know, but I wish Mark would have just let it go for 6 episodes.
Speaking of Damien, Monster Road Trip is out now. Anyway.
I don't know what that is, so I can't relate.
It's fine.
Okay, nice. So this civil war has been brewing. You guys, the party, the heroes of Eveningstar, the nobles and heroes of Eveningstar, you have encountered Davian and his machinations in various forms, some subtle, some less subtle, and have become embroiled as well with this draconic threat, this ancient green dragon called Shadowbriar, who is also wrapped up in all of this in some way, whether they are puppeteering Davian, whether they have their own agenda, or whether they genuinely are working together. It's still not quite clear. But you had traveled to Suzail to attend this war council where plans had been discussed along with some big revelations from you guys, as well as the party that were present. There is definitely some alliances being formed and factions within this war council kind of already been set up. You guys put forward some good intelligence, and some time has passed as those plans are being made and prepared for. About a week after you arrived in the city, whilst you are sleeping at home in the Crownsilver estate, the home of Agnis, where Agnis grew up, and the home of her noble family and Tarkle's noble family, you guys have been staying there whilst you are visiting the capital. And one night, Agnis, Azara, and Tarkle were awoken to the sounds of something or someone or something happening in their vicinity that has caused them to sort of awaken. They've detected the presence of somebody trying to maybe enter their rooms or some such. Poor Clyve of the Wildmane, however, is fastly, soundly asleep, snoozing away, or too distracted doing workouts and cat zoomies. We're not quite sure which one, but too distracted to notice the impending infiltrators that have made their way in. And the very last thing was Willow Song, your kind of ally, this green dragon, daughter of Shadowbriar, who has basically allied herself with you, teleported into Tarkle's room to warn him that she had seen many other kind of people sneaking into this building, into the Crownsilver estate. And that is where we are going to kick things off today. And I need you all to make... Have all of you got dice? Because you're going to need them today.
Yes.
You're going to need dice today.
You're going to need dice today. Because to begin with, to roll everything, we are rolling initiative. Right?
Oh, damn.
With D&D Beyond, it's never been easier.
It's never been easier.
Digital dice.
Yes. And if you do roll them, it should auto-populate, or if you roll manually, just tell me what you get on your initiative, and I will add it manually.
I got a 14.
14 for Azara.
13 for
Tarkle
Agnis.
is muted.
I rolled a 19.
19 for Tarkle. Wonderful. And Willow Song, unfortunately, initiative on a 4. And then we have a bunch of various ne'er-do-wells.
21.
21. I got yours because it populated
Sick.
it already. D&D Beyond, it's never been easier. Not sponsored by D&D Beyond. So
I mean, technically now we are.
technically it
Oh,
is.
yeah,
actually.
technically
that's
now,
true.
yeah.
Yeah. Now it's all owned. It's all one big happy family. One big happy D&D family. So to set this up, and this is something that we did a little bit with Agnis and Tarkle in your sort of flashback, because it's Theatre of the Mind. We don't have like a grid or battle map or minis. To kind of help simplify this, we're going to be using a rule that's kind of a lot of other systems and a lot of other games use called zones. And the idea is each of your rooms is a zone, right? The corridor that connects all of your rooms together is a zone. And then there are stairs at the end of that corridor, which is its own separate zone as well, right? You can move between zones as one movement. So spending your move action, you can go from your room into the corridor, from the corridor to another room, from the corridor to the stairways, right? Simple way to kind of like try and picture it in your head. If you want to attack something, as long as it's in the same zone as you, you can melee attack it. You can attack it with, spells and the like and such like that easily enough. If you want to use things like an area spell, you will pretty much hit almost all of the creatures in the same zone. Or if you want to be like, I want to hit everybody but my buddy, then you might mean that you can only catch 2 or 3 of the 4 bad guys, or 1 or 2 of the 3 bad guys. You might have to make a sacrifice to not hit your buddy, right? Unless you've got an ability that would let you do it otherwise. Just to try and keep it a bit more simple and not like worry too much about like, oh, how am I like 60 feet? Am I 30 feet? Right? We're going to try and count it like that. And if there's any questions, just ask me. So we have everybody but Clyve is going to be able to act normally. Clyve, unfortunately for you, this is going to be a surprise round. And you are therefore unable to act. And this is where I need dice, because I need to determine who is where. So I've got 5 of these guys and 4 of you. So let me do this guy. 1, 2, 3. Alrighty. This guy. Okay, right. So we start off in Clyve's room, unknown to Clyve, as the kind of room it's late at night. There's maybe a little bit of moonlight coming in from the windows. Each of the rooms have a window that look out onto like the garden courtyards. Big kind of 4-poster bed, various furniture, tables, wardrobes, that kind of thing. Clyve. Exactly what would Clyve do? Is Clyve sleeping? Is Clyve like, doing cat running around stuff? What's Clyve exactly up to, so that we can kind of set the scene as things happen?
Let's find out. Sleeping.
Okay, so he's actually sleeping, which is going to mean, okay, so we currently have you incapacitated as you are unconscious. Let me grab the rules here. By all means, feel free to ask me questions while I'm trying to fill for time as I look up rules.
I have a question.
Sure.
Are all of our rooms right next to each other?
Yeah, like in a long corridor, kind of like a
Okay.
hotel corridor, right? So they're not linked individually, the rooms, but like if you step out your door, then they're all connected to the corridor. And that's why we're going to count the corridor as one zone. And then
Okay.
that means you can go from that corridor into anybody else's room.
Unless there's a secret door behind a tapestry like there is in every castle.
Whoa.
Maybe. It's technically a manor house, not a castle, but manor houses can have secret entrances.
be
Maybe
cool.
maybe they do. The other thing I was going to say as well, by the way, is like if you're in one room, you don't have line of sight to any of the other rooms. So you only have line of sight into that room and the corridor. So like if Mica wanted to attack somebody in, say, Clyve's room, she would have to go out into the corridor and then into Clyve's room or attack from the corridor kind of thing. All right. So, Clyve, you are going to be, this is going to be advantage against you as you are sleeping. As, some figures, and maybe you awake just as this weapon, it's going to be a large hammer, comes slamming down onto you whilst you are sleeping. And that's going to be a 23 to hit, which I'm assuming is going to hit.
That'll hit.
That'll hit. And then that's going to be... Luckily not too bad damage-wise. That is going to be 7 points of bludgeoning and 6 points of poison damage. As this first kind of big hammer attack comes slamming down onto you. Which would wake you up, and you would be able to use your reaction if you would like. And this first attack. There's two more attacks coming your way. So,
I like before even really coming to, like the magic goes off.
You're gonna wild rage, your surge rage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, wake up a sleeping cat and you should expect the wild surge rage.
That's true.
Let me just bring up that table that I definitely had at the ready
to go
all the time. Let's roll that
so
D8.
easy.
It's so easy.
It's never been easier. Never
Okay,
in my life.
that's up there. Flowers and vines temporarily grow around you until your rage ends. The ground within 15 feet of you is difficult terrain.
Okay. So we see, like, as you're kind of startled awake, this kind of protective prismatic energy kind of flares around you, and all the wood of the bedpost begins sprouting like buds and flowers and vines that begin to wrap things. And you hear a couple of cries of like, what the, by the gods kind of thing, like kind of like struggles, as two more big, like, and then you hear like one commanding voice like, don't worry about that, just kill him, as two more hefty hammer blows are going to strike down on you, still with advantage as you are currently still prone. As they do so, that is going to be a 19 to hit on the second one.
No.
Would you be wearing your armor in bed? That's
Hell yeah.
With Clyve, that's fair, actually.
Yeah,
Okay,
that makes
yeah,
sense.
Fair enough. All right. Yeah, sure. It's a good question for the rest of you, though. If you wouldn't be wearing your armor whilst you were sleeping, please remove it before we get to your turns. And then the next one, so the second blows, now that you've kind of been shocked awake, you manage to kind of like maybe roll to the side, duck to the side as these two big hammer blows. And you can see this really tall, maybe like 7 feet tall, bald human man wearing dark clothes, wielding this massive sledgehammer, like a blacksmith's hammer. He's trying to bring that down on top of you. And he's just kind of like snarling down. You can see that there's actually another person, like a more sort of like thiefy looking fellow next to him. That is going to be their turn. That was the surprise round. Tarkle.
Okay, so Tarkle is definitely not wearing his leather armor in bed.
Okay.
So
you've kind of just woken up. Willow Song's teleported into the room, and you can see her like crouched in the shadows. And she's kind of psychically messaged you saying there are people that have snuck, like there are people sneaking into the estate. I think they're here to kill us. And you can hear the lock on the door. Like that's what woke you up, is you can hear that faint scraping sound of somebody picking your door, picking the lock to your door.
Okay. So Epilogue is a short sword, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Can I go ahead and if I try to stab through the door, like knowing that someone's picking the lock right now, can I do that?
Whoa.
That's cool.
You certainly could. What I would say is you'd probably have disadvantage on the attack roll, because, but then they wouldn't know that you were coming.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So I'd say it's a straight roll, but I'm going to give them cover. I'm going to give them like a higher AC for it.
Okay, that's fair.
If that makes sense.
Would this count before I roll so I can get my hopes destroyed as a surprise attack? Like they don't expect this coming. Am I surprising them?
That sounds right.
That sounds very, very makes sense.
I mean, your words were that they don't know it's coming.
Yeah, I think the only thing for that is like, obviously you would, and I think Tarkle would do this anyway, right? You would probably spend your movement to silently approach the door and then stab through it. So just give me a stealth check, just on the off chance you like flub the roll and they hear you coming.
Oh. I rolled a 19, 33.
Yeah, they have no idea. I would say that this, although technically we've rolled initiative, I'm going to say this is a surprise round, even though they're not surprised. Yeah, I'm going to say that they count as being surprised.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I wish that was my attack roll, though, because... Oh, okay. I rolled a 17 plus epilogue is 9, so 26.
26, even with like 3/4 cover, which is what I'm giving them, isn't going to be enough. Like, you basically... Epilogue, because of the magical nature of this blade, it slides through the wood almost as if it's not there. Like, it just pierces through, and you know it's connected to something on the other side. You don't know what yet, but like you definitely know it's connected to something. So yeah, roll damage, sneak attack, and it's automatically a crit because it is your assassinate feature.
Yeah, let me go to... I think dndbeyond.com has a way for me to roll sneak attack in here. I'm almost positive.
Honestly, this is really their fault for trying to attack a rogue. Like,
yeah.
Honestly,
should have thought about that. Yeah,
really should have thought about that.
Right, I'm gonna do it manually on Google because
maybe they've made some poor servant unlock the door.
So my sneak attack, that'd be awful. My sneak attack rolled 19, so 26 before the crit, 52 after the crit.
Fuck.
And with Epilogue's blade, I'm assuming it has some sort of dark glow to it. Because I crit, they have to make a Constitution saving throw.
They do, or they die.
Come on, please.
Or they just flat out die.
They just die.
Yeah, it's the blade of endings. This is what this blade does.
So is that the case always? Whenever you stab someone with that, they might just die?
No, it's
only when I crit.
Yeah, it's when he gets a crit.
That's insane.
That is still pretty insane.
You know, it's a Vorpal sword. It's basically a Vorpal sword, but tailored to a more of an assassin's weapon.
Well, Snickers snack. Am I right or am I right?
This one is Snicker stab.
That's true.
I mean, so what you see and hear, Tarkle, is you slide the blade through, you feel it connect, and then almost like the thing that it's connected with vanishes. And you just hear, by the fucking gods, like you just hear like this exclamation from the other side of the door, like what the like, you know, kind of you know, this desperate cry.
Can we say the door disappeared too? Or no?
I think that no, because that's you could be using a different ability. Like it's because also the door isn't a living thing. Like ending has a different epilogue has a different effect on certain creatures. You could make the door vanish if you wanted to cast disintegrate on it, but for this it's like it slides through and you feel something vanish. I would say that whoever was doing the picking did unlock the door. And then as you basically stabbed through as they finished unlocking it and caught them as they did it. But yeah, you just hear like some exclamation and you're pretty sure you just turned this dude to dust, like whoever was trying to steal through. If we could see the kind of like half on your side, half on their side, yeah, the blade, as soon as it strikes them, it just turns them to a black ash and they just vanish. It just blows away in like a small gust. And you just see Willowsong like nod it, like, yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Good job killing.
You wish we were still together, don't you? Okay, never mind.
Oh damn!
She does.
I end my turn.
And on that, I end my turn. So what happens next is, because those of you who weren't surprised, Agnis and Azara, you like are aware of this. You're not quick enough to be able to react before these guys burst in. But for Tarkle, Azara, and Agnis, for you, this is the process of them opening the doors. Clyve, unfortunately, they already got in. Like, he didn't get a chance to notice because he didn't wake up. But for you guys, it's as these, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'd probably be 1 each for Azara and Agnis. No, sorry, probably 2 for Azara because they know you're a war mage.
I mean,
one for Agnis and then 2 for Tarkle. These basically like thugs. They're dressed in like black, you know, they're dressed in like black and gray and dark colored clothes, very like hastily dyed or covered in soot and you know, to try and mask them. They look like back alley thugs, but pretty well trained ones. Like you can see they've got good equipment. They're pretty well trained. They're trying to be as quiet as possible, but you did manage to catch them. For Tarkle, there is 2 left. There was 3. There is now only 2, as one of them is completely dusted. And yeah, they're basically going to kind of like burst in, and you can hear these kind of like shouts and cries from them as they are basically gonna make attacks against you as they all come rushing in. So they're all gonna kind of step in up to you, surrounding either your bed or like moving up to you, Tarkle. Like they're gonna try and basically rush you at the door. You can see that they have Azara. Sorry, I'm dealing with a lot of enemies right now. Azara. They are going to, as they kind of see you, they're actually going to kind of half take cover by the door, seeing that you're up. They can see that you're awake, so they kind of like pull themselves back behind the door, and then they lean around with hand crossbows, and they're basically going to be shooting in with their hand crossbows.
Oh, pussies.
Nice.
All right.
Do you have your armor on, or were you not wearing your armor?
Well, we kind of modified Azara's armor because she doesn't wear armor. She has adamantine like arm guards, and I don't think she takes those off. I think they're just kind of a part of her forever.
Part of her forever?
For shit like this.
Sure. The first bolt goes wide from the first attacker. The second one is going to be a 22.
Yeah, that hits.
That is going to be 12 points of piercing damage as the crossbow bolt kind of slams in. And then the second one by the door is going to take 2 shots at you as well. Okay. Trying to like get in. That's a 21 to hit on the first one. And that is going to be another 15 points of piercing damage. And then the second one is going to miss, so it kind of thuds into the headboard, like as you're kind of rolling off the bed or like trying to, get out of the way of these bolts, kind of slamming in. 2 manage to graze you, kind of like cutting along your arms as you fall back. And yeah, they're basically now taking cover. They have cover against you from inside the room. Agnis, the one that kind of comes into your room. And I think actually, it's actually going to be 2 each, because the one coming into Agnes's room, you see, is a little different armed. They seem to be a little bit more well trained, and they have a very unusual looking. I mean, for Anna's point of view, it's like a musket rifle. But for Agnis, you've probably never seen a weapon like this. It's like a long, sort of barreled crossbow without the arms, but it's basically like a rifle. And one of these kind of normal thugs comes in. The thug is actually going to come straight up towards you with a big sort of cudgel, heavy-looking iron mace and try and clock you around the head as they do so.
So there's 2 in my room now.
Yeah, I forgot that I had another creature in the encounter.
That
so it's
changes
2,
my strategy.
It's 2 each, basically. Okay. And then Clyve's got his own problems going on as well. The thug's first swing with the cudgel is going to miss with only an 8. And then the second one is going to be a 16.
That will hit because I don't have my armor on.
That will hit. Excellent. Thank you. So that's going to be 11 points of bludgeoning and then 6 points of poison damage. As you can feel, this kind of cudgel hits your like skin. The skin kind of blisters and bubbles a little bit as there's some sort of like poison, like contact poison on top of it. And you kind of have to flinch back as it hits you. All right.
Okay.
That's its go. And then Tarkle, last one. The 2 who have basically rushed to engage you, like, I don't know what you did, but we're gonna make you pay for that. And they kind of just charge in towards you to try and like knock you about with their heavy cudgels. That's gonna be a 16.
What brave men mine are.
16 hits.
Right?
16 hits. Well, because you got lucky. That's what they're thinking.
Sorry.
Yes.
I forgot that with my Mantle of Embered Ashes, I can use my reaction to cause a melee attacker to take 3d6 fire damage.
Please roll that for me, and I will add that on. Tarkle, you're going to take 9 bludgeoning and 1 poison damage, so 10 total.
Okay.
From that first hit. And then Agnis, you tell me how much.
11.
11 fire damage. I will put that on.
Don't hit me or you will burn.
Yeah, so as he does hit you, kind of the mantle kind of flares to life and smashes him with fire. The second cudgel attack from the first thug, Tarkle, is going to miss you. And then the second thug is going to make 2 attacks against you as well for a miss. And then it was only an 8. And then an 11, which I think is still going to miss you with your dex. So, yeah, you kind of, even though you're unarmored, you're like dodging to the side and like kind of moving around as these thugs are basically rushing to try and knock you guys out or kill you. You're not quite sure. Azara, we then jump straight into your turn.
Azara, just annoyed that they woke her up, is going to cast Dragon's Breath on herself.
Okay.
And then I'm guessing a cone of 15 feet will hit both of these.
It will, because they have cover, they'll get a bonus to their saving throw, because they're kind of like pressed up against the door. So like the cone would kind of catch the front of the door and sort of have to spread around. It will still potentially, it will hit them, but they'll have a bonus to their saving throw.
Right. but also being aware that this is her friend's parents' home, she's going to breathe poison damage
So thoughtful.
instead of something that'll actually damage the wood.
Yeah, nice. So what kind of saving throw am I making them?
Dex of 16.
Dex of 16. They are going to get a bonus to this. So they're going to get a +5 bonus because of the cover. The first one is going to still fail. That's only a 13. And then the second one is going to get the second one is going to pass with like a 26.
All right,
so
well,
one of them
D&D Beyond is never been
manages to just
easier.
pull back, in time. The other one does not.
It's 13 points of poison damage.
All right, I'll say
And
that
then
A
half.
failed, and then 6 points of damage to the one who succeeded, which will be B. Alrighty. Cast Dragon's Breath on yourself. You kind of breathe towards the door. Is there anything you'd like to do? Like in terms of these rooms, feel free to be like, is there like a desk I can like hide behind? Or, like, can I take, like if you want to make up like there's a you can kind of make up a little bit of the decor, like to do something cool if you want to as well.
I was assuming like the bed was kind of 4-poster in the middle of the room.
Yeah,
if there's a way I can like roll off the bed to the other side.
Yeah,
so,
you can
like,
take half cover.
Take half cover behind the bed. Yeah.
Yep. The half cover is +2 AC and +2 to dex saving throws. So you're kind of like kind of Gears of War style, 3/4 wall, hiding behind it, and they're sort of around the door, kind of FPS style, kind of leaning around to take shots at you and stuff like that. You kind of this roiling cloud of green mist kind of fills the air and chokes them. You can hear like one of them like choking, like, quick, take her down before she casts more spells. Agnis, anything else? Unless there's anything else, Azara, sorry.
Nah, that's it.
All right, Agnis, you're up.
All right.
Clyve is very
sorry. Quick question.
Yes.
Alyssa wouldn't be in my room, would she?
Alyssa is not here yet. No.
Okay.
She's still en route. So it's only you guys, Willow Song and Dusk, who are still in the city right now.
Okay, I was about to say, because that would have been a big mistake on their part.
Yeah, charging in. But no, unfortunately not. Agnis.
So there's one in melee with me, and then there's another like at the door with the rifle.
Yeah, with this rifle, yeah. And it looks like he's literally bringing it up to take aim. He's gonna.
If I were to restrain them, would they not be able to shoot, or would they still be able to shoot?
They would have disadvantage if restrain causes disadvantage for their attack rolls, I believe.
All right.
And then just while you're thinking, we have the rifleman, Willow Song, Clyve, and then it jumps back up to the top, and so Tarkle will be the next player.
So I'm going to cast Entangle, like right in front of myself and 20 feet back.
Okay. Yeah,
so trying to catch both of them.
Okay, yeah, I'd say that you can catch both of them. The next zone will just be on the edge, but you can catch this one guy. You won't hit the other creatures in the zone, but you'll catch this one guy in front of you.
I won't catch the rifle guy?
Yeah, you'll catch him, but not the ones who are like shooting at Azara and stuff like that.
Right.
That's what I mean. Yeah. You'll catch
and
these two.
They have to succeed on a strength 17.
Strength 17. Okay. First one, which is the one who's in melee range with you. Unfortunately, that was a 17 + 3, so they're going to succeed. That was a 20. And then the rifleman, however, is a natural 1, so that's a 4. So the rifleman kind of gets like, and is like, wrapped up in vines as this kind of mossy carpet spreads out from you. But the one who's actually engaged with you, like, looks to be like maybe like a former sailor or somebody who's quite strong, like rips through some of the vines. It's just like, your little plants, I'm going to help you now, noble woman.
Can I, he's in melee range with me and the rifleman's at the door. Can I use him as cover?
You could, yeah. I'd say absolutely you could. Yep, absolutely.
So I'm just going to stay where I am in melee.
Try and hide behind this guy.
Yeah.
Sure.
Human shield.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely you can do. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn? Bonus actions or anything like that?
I can't because I can't summon Candor. It's an action, so no.
All right, no worries. In that case, we go to the rifleman. They are going to try and do it with Entangle. Do I get to make a saving throw at the end of the turn? Just to check on that as well.
Well, let's see.
Oh.
A creature restrained by the plants can use its action to make a strength check against your spell save DC. On a success, it frees itself.
Yeah, it's going to try. The rifleman's going to try and do that, just because rather than trying to take a shot with disadvantage, I think their first instinct would be to try and break out. Mm-hmm. Is it just a strength? They can't use their dex on it. It's just strength.
Yeah, just strength 17.
All right, that's going to be pretty tough for this guy. Yep, no, fails. Like Spencer's
weakling,
basically trying to wiggle, unable to quite break free. You can see that this one's a lot more slender, a lot more life, maybe slightly, maybe like half elf or something like that. But yeah, definitely like not as burly and strong as the sailor wrestling you. All right, Tarkle. In your room, Wilson is there.
Yes.
I've got her stats, like, basically not mentally, but like, what would you want Willisong to do? Just like try and attack these dudes? Do you want her to go and help like the others and leave you to take care of these guys? Is like, would you call out and say like, you know, go help my sister or something like that? Or would you, because otherwise she's going to try and help you. She's going to try and fight the guys attacking you.
What would Tarkle actually do? I think Tarkle would want to try to finish this as soon as possible and keep Willisong with him. Yeah, I don't think he would. I don't think he would send her off.
Okay, right. In that case, then she will basically. You see, like she raises her hand, and a kind of green, thorny, like whip of sort of magic will kind of manifest. And she's gonna make 2 attacks with her thorn whip against these guys. The first one is unfortunately gonna just barely miss, as the guy manages to bring the cudgel up and kind of deflect against it. And then the second one is going to hit for 8 points of slashing and 12 points of poison damage. So 20 points of damage to that one. And then as a... You didn't get hit that badly, did you? You took like a little blow, but it wasn't
I'm barely a flesh wound.
Yeah, she's not going to worry about healing you then. Instead, she will use her poison mist. So she kind of like brings up her hand and blows this kind of cloud of poison mist, forcing one of them to make a con save, which he passes. Unfortunately, he kind of like like coughs and splutters, but is not affected by this poisonous gas that she's kind of blown in his face. And that's going to pretty much be it. She's going to kind of keep about 10 feet away so that she can use her whip effectively. But otherwise, she's going to just try and engage these two. So at last, we come to poor Clyve, who is waking up to find these two thug-like fellas looking over his body.
Murder him.
Well, I guess it's time to start swinging.
So just like from under the pillow, just like the sword comes out.
Pillow
Nice.
sword.
Yes.
Well, so let's see. I am raging,
Yes.
which is good news for me.
Well, are you raging, or do you just, with the reaction, you just trigger the effect, right? Or does that start your rage as well?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, it's been a while.
That's right.
You
We'll
are
say-
right.
we'll s-
Well, I'm going to.
Yeah,
then.
yeah, exactly. You just bonus action rage, no problem. Easy. All right.
Okay.
So we see the kind of like, do you like? I'm guessing like Clyve lets out like a little roar or something.
Yeah,
Ragey.
not quite a daunting level
No.
of roar, but
But a
definitely.
roar.
So I'm gonna raid. Okay, it's a 1 on the table. Oh, okay. Each creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet of you, which I'm assuming they all are if they're in my room.
Yeah, you can hit the 2 in your room, no problem.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Constitution saving throw or
Alright.
take 1d12 necrotic damage.
Okay. Well, the big guy got a 9 total, and
Mhm.
then the little guy gets a 16.
I think 16 makes it. So, let's
Big guy
see.
takes D12.
Let me roll the 1d12. Do. That is 2. And then I
Points.
also gain temporary hit points equal to 1d12 plus your barbarian level.
Ooh, that's nice.
Let me roll that.
So you kind of
Ooh,
feel
that's a
in-
12.
Oh, so plus your barbarian, so 25 temporary hit points.
Yep.
That's pretty dope.
Like,
Bruh, you just kind of feel
I am-
yourself.
I am
filled with
over
vigor.
prepared for these 2 dudes.
Yeah.
All right, and now I'm actually going to attack.
Nice. Okay. Which one would you like to attack? So you've got like this big, like really tall, muscular, bald dude, with this massive like blacksmith's hammer, and then one of these kind of smaller thugs with like a cudgel next to you.
Whoever's closer, so probably the littler guy.
Okay, sure.
Girl.
They're both kind of like on either side of your bed, basically.
Okay. Then I'd probably go for the stronger looking one if they're both
Okay.
near. It's 18 plus 12, so that's a 30 to hit.
That will hit. Yeah, you kind of catch this guy who was kind of hoping that you would be maybe a bit more sort of subdued by the strike whilst you were asleep, and is very confused why you're not dead. As yeah, you kind of like rah, and like just swipe at him.
So that is 13.
13 points
slashing.
of damage. He does manage to kind of like pull back and like you still damage him, but like just to he kind of like, you know, he has to rapidly pull himself back, maybe kind of like nicks him across the neck, but still up and fighting.
I'm probably just like kind of swinging from bed. Like I haven't actually gotten up yet.
You're laying on the ground, kind of like swinging. Yeah, absolutely.
And then I'm going to swing again.
Sure.
That is, that's a 1. So
1 to hit.
13.
Total 13, not enough. This time he kind of like, because of your position on the bed, he basically just like backs away and you don't have the reach to quite catch him. And you know, the awkward kind of position that you're in means that the attack goes wide.
Okay.
All right. Anything else, Clyve, on your turn? Would you like to stand up, get up, stand on the bed?
I'll get up. Probably a good time. Get out of bed.
Okay. Yeah, so you kind of like stand up and like get yourself in a fighting position. Nice. All right. If that is you finished, Clyve, then we go up to the top of a brand new round. The big fella is going to kind of see what you're doing, and he can kind of hear the sounds of fighting. And he's going to point at this little guy next to him, and he says like, "Get in there, kill him!" And then he is going to pull out like a little canister. He throws it on the ground, and a plume of smoke is going to engulf him. And he's basically going to become invisible. It's basically like a smoke bomb to become invisible for a round. And he's going to bugger off somewhere. And you can make a check on your turn to see if you can find him. But as far as you know, he vanish. He go. And then that's his action to use that. He's done that already. And then that's a reaction. Nice. We go to Tarkle. Muted.
Okay, so I'm going to there's 2 men in my room.
Yeah, so imagine like you're kind of like they've like on either side of you. Like they're now sort of, one of them's aware of Willowsong, is trying to keep an eye on her, but they're trying to basically surround you and overwhelm you with numbers. And like swinging these heavy cudgels, and you can see that they've got hand crossbows in their belts and things like that.
Okay. So I think then I'm going to just get into within melee range of the one that Willowsong had already started hurting.
Yeah, they're both already next to you. Like you're already.
Oh, they're next to me, because I know you said she's still 10 feet away from me, so I know I don't get my bonuses.
Yes, unfortunately, she is not like this. If you told her to, she'd happily move up next to them if you tell her to. But like at the moment, she's just like trying to keep her distance.
I didn't want to like be too meta-y. But
no,
okay,
that's fine. No, that's not meta at all. That's like tactics. Like Tarkle knows that he fights better if she was next to him, then they would be more distracted and he could strike easier. Like that's totally like fair knowledge. You just need to tell her like, hey, I need you like to come next to these guys, kind of.
Yeah. Okay. I think Tarkle's too proud for that. So I think what he'll do is he will attack with Epilogue in a regular fashion on the one that was already damaged.
Okay.
And I believe 15 plus 9, 24.
24 hits. Yeah.
Okay. And I think I just do my 1d6 plus 4, so it's just 7 damage.
7 points of damage. Yes, sir.
I'm just trying to make sure when you hit a creature and have advantage on the attack. I don't have advantage. Okay. Then I would just use my bonus action to disengage and bring myself back next to Willowsong, so that the next turn,
so they have to come up and engage you. Yep.
But when I get back to her, Tarkle will look at her and say, "Stay close," and that'll be my instruction.
All right. She nods. Okay. Nice.
But does she blush? That's the question.
Oh, no, she's not a blusher. Like she kind of keeps that like up here, but there's definitely like she. It's very hard to read her emotions sometimes, but yeah, she definitely like nods and like kind of presses herself against you, like shoulder to shoulder kind of thing, ready for this fight. The enemies are going to respond by basically surging. So for Tarkle, the 2 of them are basically going to charge you and Willowsong. I like to imagine that you guys are kind of like in front of the window where she kind of teleported in from. So like you kind of got your back to this like big arched window looking onto the gardens. They're like charging over the bed, like to engage you guys in melee. Azara, they're going to continue what they were doing. So the 2 that you were fighting are going to keep using that cover, kind of seeing how it helped them and try and kind of like time crisis. They're going to time crisis you basically. Press the pedal to take cover. And then Agnis, the same thing. The one who's engaging you with melee is just going to keep that fight going. Just trying to kind of like knock you and maybe hopefully,
I figured.
Try and knock you, see if they can affect you casting the spell or something. And then Clyve, there's the little one next to you as well, which I forgot last time, so I'm just going to remember that guy. Cool. So we'll do Agnis, Azara, Clyve, and then Tarkle last. So Agnis is just 2 melee attacks against you. The first one is going to be a 24 to hit, I'm afraid.
That will hit.
that will hit for a total of 8 bludgeoning plus 5 poison damage. And then the second attack. And is entangled concentration?
Let me double check.
No worries.
I don't think so, because I think it's just something that like...
You tell me.
Oh, it is concentration.
Okay. Can you make a constitution saving throw for me then, please? DC 10.
Come on, big money.
Big money, no whammy.
Oh.
No. Failed.
So the entanglement, the vines kind of wither away and break away, and the rifleman is like, nice. And he like begins to kind of start taking aim again, and the thug in front of you smiles, but he kind of gets a bit cocky, and his second attack is going to miss. It's only a two.
Ha!
So his second attack kind of goes wide as he swings a second time. Too cocky in his actions. Azara, they're going to do the same thing where they're going to try and shoot you with their hand crossbows. Pew pew. First attack, you do have +2 AC because of cover at the moment. The first one is only a 13, which I believe is a miss. The second one, however, is going to be a 23.
Damn it.
Just clips you. Maybe like grazes along your forehead. 11 points of piercing damage. Oh,
We forgot to do the
roll it.
fire damage for
Can you give
hitting
me
me.
that
Sorry.
3d6. Yeah, absolutely.
15.
15 points. Lovely. Yeah, you can see like that second one. He's like, he's like, will you hurry up and shoot her? Like kind of like calling back to his friend. So Azara, the second one does manage to just graze you, and then the second one's going to take their shots. Natural 1 on the first one. In fact, I'm going to roll a d20 and see if that causes their... No, they kind of like jam their crossbow, but manage to get a second one in place. And then they take another shot, but that's going to be 24 to hit. It went from 6 to 19.
All right.
Sorry. As that's going to be 19 points of piercing
All right.
damage.
I'm also going to use my reaction.
Yes, please.
To Wrath of the Storm, so they have to do a dex saving throw.
Oh, dex saving throw. They get a slight bonus to this. First one is going to be an 8. Second one, is this both of them, assuming?
No, just the one that hit me. Yeah.
8 to hit.
Cool.
8 save.
D8 lightning damage.
Nice.
That's a 6 plus a 4, 10.
10 points.
10 points of lightning damage. Oh wait, no, and then add 3, so 13.
13 points of lightning damage. Yeah, this one, like, even with the kind of cover of the wall, it kind of bursts through, maybe breaking some of the plastering as this bolt of lightning kind of surges out and strikes them. You hear them like, ugh. They're still up, unfortunately, but they are wounded.
All right. Is it my turn?
It is not. I'm going to finish off
Okay.
these guys, then it's your turn. But that's it for the ones against you. That was the last attack against you. Clyve, the little guy, is going to swing his little cudgel at you. Oh, I'm going to get you.
I'm gonna get you.
Gonna get you. That's only a 12 to hit on the first one. The next one is going to be a 21.
Oh, that hits.
That hits. Excellent. In that case, on this guy, that is going to be... you are raging now as well, aren't you?
Yes.
So that would be 6 bludgeoning, so half to 3 bludgeoning, and then 1 point of poison damage. Ooh, exciting.
Oh.
And that was the second hit, so that's it against that one. And then that's the only one against thing. And then Tarkle, 1 attack against you, and I think the other one's actually going to go for Willow Song. So one's going to attack you with his little cudgel for a 10 to hit, so that's a miss, and then a 17 to hit.
Oh, I thought one was going for Willow Song. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they get 2 attacks each.
Oh, okay. The second one does hit. I'm gonna uncanny dodge.
Uncanny dodge. Nice. So I'll roll all the damage together then. So that would be 12 points of damage. So you can half it to 6.
Nice.
So you kind of bring your head back, and it just manages to kind of reduce some of the blow. And then the other one is going to go for Willow Song. I'm going to check their AC and stuff. The first one is actually going to hit Willow Song for 6 points of bludgeoning damage. No poison damage. She's immune. And then the second one is going to miss. You actually see the cudgel actually technically hits Willow Song, but you can see that like her shape-shifted scales kind of like manifest and just absorb the blow rather than like it being dodged.
Nice.
But that is all of their attacks. So we go to Azara, then it'll be Agnis, then Rifleman, Willow Song, Clyve. So Azara, then Agnis.
I am going to quicken a spell real quick.
Okay. Take time, think about
yep.
one. Just so you know as well, like, you guys can hear the sounds. You know that fighting is coming from the other rooms nearby. Like, you guys, you know, it's very obvious that all of you are being attacked at this point. If you have any questions, don't forget to ask, or like if you want to do anything crazy or wild, just let me know.
I'm gonna quicken my spell.
Okay.
And then I'm going to. Oh wait, do I have to? Is this a bonus action to turn into my dragon form?
That's a good question. Because if it's a bonus action, then you're quicken spell.
Staff all Draconic heritage. When my life is in danger, you're reduced. It just says. Oh, you spend a bonus action. Okay, so I'm not gonna do that yet.
Okay.
But I am going to cast freaking Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay.
So that's 5d8 plus 2. That's 15 points, 17 points. But then also with my my fancy winds, I get extra bonus points, right?
You tell me.
Yeah. Hold on, sorry.
No, that's all right. We've got a lot of new stuff.
Yes. That creature regains an additional hit points equal to my proficiency bonus.
Nice. Okay.
Which is plus 5, so 17 plus 5. How much is that?
Wicked. There you go.
22.
Thank
22.
you. So I regain 22 points.
22 hit points.
And then I'm going to cast.
So that was the quickened cure wounds you were
That
doing?
was a quicken cure wounds. So now
nice.
I have
so you can
cantrip.
cast a cantrip. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly that.
I am going to lightning lure one of the dudes to try and bring him out of cover.
Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, I love that.
So a strength save of 16.
Yeah, and they cover doesn't benefit strength saving throws. They do have a +3, but let's see. That is going to be a 5 plus 3, 8. Fail.
Perfect. Love that for me. So that's 3d8 lightning. So 4, 6. That's 10. 15 plus 3. So 15, 18 points of lightning damage, and then also I bring him into the middle of the room.
Okay. Do you want? Would you have been targeting the one that you hit with the wrath, or do you want to target the other one?
The other one, because he has more hit points, and now I can directly murder his face.
Yeah. So they're basically about even now. They're both kind of looking quite bloody and beaten up, but still fighting strong. But yeah, you kind of wrap the lightning, yank one into the room, kind of pulling him away from the door. And he's kind of in the middle of the room, sort of like maybe like stumbles up against the bed, and you're on the other side to it now. But he's now broken out of cover 100%. No more cover for that guy. Unless he could technically try and move back on his turn and regain that position. But for now,
I'm a warcaster, so I'd have an attack of opportunity.
Sure, yeah, I'd say that if you want to pull him, like, yeah, he's directly next to you, basically. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. All right. In that case, we go to Agnis. If you're done, Azara.
I am done, yeah.
You said that the guy that's in melee with me looks like... I guess, would Agnis think that if he took one more round of her fire, he might be done for?
Maybe not one more round. I would tell you if they're like at half health, I'd say that they're bloody. He's not quite there yet. But he's taken some. It's more that like that fight. Every time he hits you and he gets like burnt really badly, he's kind of realizing like, oh, I'm probably not gonna win. If I keep doing this, I'm probably not gonna win. So he's like, hurry up and shoot it. He's just trying to keep you engaged and prevent you from like messing with his friend at this point.
All right. As much as I want to keep doing fun, cool things, I'm too squishy. So I'm going to use my wild shape to summon my wildfire spirit, Candor. And I think that's my action.
Yeah, I think something does happen when you summon them, though. I think you do get like you get to do an attack or something against them. I think because it's very rare that you summon him like at full combat.
I think it's just that he can go immediately after me. I don't think anything happens upon my summoning.
No, it does. It's just not in the text box of the thing. So it says the spirit appears in an unoccupied space of your choice that you can see within 30 feet. Each creature within 10 feet of the spirit other than you when it appears must make a dex saving throw or take 2d6 fire damage.
Oh, great. So, that's awesome. Can I summon him
I'd say if you summon
between the two?
Yeah, I'd say you can catch both. Yeah. And then it's dexterity saving throw. For both of these guys, I will do the regular guy first, who doesn't have cover. That's a 12, so I think that's a failure. And then the rifleman is a bit more agile. It's a 19, unfortunately, on the...
That does save.
Yeah, so he's going to kind of like dodge backwards, but the other guy is going to take the 2d6.
Which will be 8.
8 points of fire damage. So Kandor appears, and now that guy is bloodied. He's at half health. So you see like the fire kind of overwhelm him. He's like, oh, he's like trying to put his arm out. You can see he's badly wounded. And Kandor is now summoned.
Then Kandor is going to use fiery teleportation on me.
Okay.
Come over to me and do that, which means I can leave
Now,
without an attack of opportunity.
It does mean I get an attack opportunity against Kandor because he is a creature. So the guy would just make a swing for him, right? Like the guy would just see this bird fly past him. And he's going to take a swing at him.
Well, it says within 5 feet. So does he have to get in melee range to? Or is 5 feet melee?
If you summon him between two so that he caught both of them with that 10 feet explosion, he's in range that, like, yeah, one of these, this guy will get a swipe at him. You know, it's one little swipe. It should be okay. I don't think it's going to, like, knock Kandor out straight away. He'll probably miss anyway. 14 to hit Kandor?
Kandor has 13.
13. So it does hit him. And that's going to be... it's going to be 9 points of bludgeoning damage. So you might just want to keep a track somewhere.
How many HP does Kandor have?
It's 5 times your druid level plus 5. So it's quite a lot. He's got, like, you know, good chunk of HP.
Okay, and he just did 9?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 times your druid level plus 5. So
okay.
Kind of gets knocked, but Kandor kind of and then flies next to you.
So I'm gonna fiery teleport behind cover, so probably like behind a bed or
yeah, absolutely. You could get behind the bed, or like maybe we could say that there's like a dresser and you kind of tip it over to like give yourself some cover or something.
Yeah. Is there anywhere I can get full cover, like behind a desk?
Full cover would be tricky, just because like the way that they're looking into the room, the bed would kind of give you half cover, I would say. Like if you flipped over a desk or something, it'd be about half cover. Yeah, I think the only way that you could get like full cover is if you like teleported into like a wardrobe,
into
and, like,
a closet,
doors. Yeah, basically into a closet, and we'll like shut the doors, right?
Okay,
then
never
you could
mind.
Get, like full cover from that. But,
I'll go half cover behind a desk.
Sure. Okay.
And because I did fiery teleportation, we have 1d6 plus 5 fire damage for the person I was in melee with. So that will be 11 fire damage.
11 dead. Let's do the thing. Yeah, I think they're still going to fail. So 11 points.
Oh, and I think we get an additional d8. Yes, because of my enhanced bond. So there's an additional d8 of fire damage that Kandor does.
Throw it for me.
Which will be
Another
6.
I mean, Kandor with the kind of with his appearance and then the fiery teleportation, Kandor nearly like incinerates this guy. You can see he's badly burnt. He's like covered in burns and scars now. He's like panning his eye. He looks feebly over here. He's like, shoot her, make the bird go away. He's just like staggering around.
Actually, it says whenever you cast a spell that deals fire damage or restores hit points. Is fiery teleportation a spell?
It's not a spell, no.
Okay, then we don't get that extra.
He's still badly wounded, though. Like, I'll add that back on, but he's still very badly wounded. And it looks like he's probably... I would say, Agnes, you can tell that he's probably about to try and, like, leave the room. He's going to, like, make a break to get out of line of sight from you.
Okay.
And try and leave this gunslinger to try and finish you off. Who, incidentally, is their turn now.
Hey, Mark.
Hello. Yes.
We don't have to retcon anything, but I've noticed that I was reading my new thing that you gave me. I never added the +2 to my AC.
Okay.
So my base AC is 17 now.
Okay.
Wow,
you keep a note of that. Add it to your D&D sheet.
I will.
We're not gonna
I just want to let you. No, we're not going to retcon it. I just want to let you know.
That's perfect. Thank you. Love it. No problem. All right. So this rifleman, this evil rifleman is going to take it's going to take aim, and he's going to try and take a shot at you, Agnes. You do have +2 AC because you are in half cover against this attack.
Great.
Only gets the one shot. That is an 18 plus 6, 24.
Yeah, that +2 AC does not matter at all.
Yeah. So this is going to be... And I might roll badly on the damage, so it might be okay.
You might.
I might.
You might.
That's going to be 21 points of piercing damage.
Yeah, that hurts.
So the kind of like part of the dresser or the thing that you're hiding behind is like blown out into splinters. Some of the wood kind of like embeds into your arm and like... As this echo, and the rest of you, by the way, like Clyve, Tarkle, everybody, you hear this loud kind of like coming from down the hallway.
I do not love that.
Rifle goes off. All right. All right. Next turn, Willow Song. Tarkle, again, if you want her, like, she'll kind of, like, be like, do you want me to go and help them, or do you want me to stay here?
Oh, stay here.
All right. I'll see if I can finish this. I'll see if I can make this easier. And she will look at one of these fellows, and she's going to cast Dominate Person on them, or going to try to anyway. So she's going to say, like, listen to me. And it's going to be a Wisdom saving throw for one of these guys. And unfortunately, that's going to be a 20. So he kind of like you can see like something infest into his mind, and he's like, no, mustn't listen. And like the other guy kind of like shoves him, and like, you know, see Willowsong just like, ah. And you can see like her little fangs kind of come out, and she's like, ah, gets annoyed. But unfortunately, that's her whole action to cast a spell. So we go to Clyve the Wildmane.
Well, I think there's good chance that I'm just gonna keep swinging.
Yeah, but you've got this little guy. You've got this one little dude in front of you at this point. The other guy seems to have vanished. So,
oh, you big guy ran off then, didn't he?
No, it's tactical. It's tactical.
Well, it's you and me now, friendo. You're trapped in here with me. I'm gonna attack recklessly.
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay, so I gotta add 12 to it, so it's the higher one.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why it added that. Yeah, it hits.
Yep.
Cool. Let's damage. Oh, it's +3 for my rage as well, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, don't forget to add that as well.
8, 9 down. So 15 +3, so 18 slashing on the first.
Kind of like cuts him across the chest. Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it again.
Sure.
Woo! That is dirty 20.
That's gonna hit still. Yep, absolutely.
And that is 15 slashing.
15 points. I mean, you cut this guy down. You can see him heavily bleeding now, like as the Ebon Scorn kind of like rakes through his flesh. And he's like, oh, and you can see that morale is breaking as he's like, you know, holding his bloody arm, and you know, he looks heavily injured. He's now bloodied. He's under half health. And yeah, he is looking pretty terrified at this point. Okay, where, Commander? He's like, Captain. He's like calling out, like, help.
Your friend's gonna die here.
Anything else on your turn, Clyve?
No, that I think that's good.
That does it. From out in the hallway, you do hear, because none of you are out in the hallway yet, you do hear kind of like the sound. You hear a voice, and you hear the big bald guy, the captain, is going to issue a call to attack, and he's going to go allow up to 3 allies that can hear him to make a weapon attack as a reaction. So I'm thinking, who's in melee? So we've got one in melee with Azara at the moment, one in melee with Clyve, and one in melee with Tarkle. So I'm just going to do those guys. So Azara, this is against you for a 8 to hit. It's going to be a miss. Against Clyve, that is going to be a 18 to hit. Actually, you're reckless, so I get advantage. 21 to hit.
That hits.
That's going to hit. That is going to be for a total of 11 bludgeoning, so half to 5 already, and then 6 poison, which we don't half, so 11 damage total.
Okay, and do I get to unstable backlash?
If you'd like to, yeah, it's your
Yeah,
you
I would
choose
like to.
like when you want to do it, and then it's a natural one against Tarkle, so it's a miss.
3, an intangible spirit, which looks like a flump for
Yes!
Pixie, appears with...
And it's at the end of the current round. Yeah, great. So this guy's turn ends because he's the one he let that guy do that on a reaction. His turn ends. The flump explodes.
I imagine he's like about to take his attack, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
don't do it. No, you don't want to do that. And then it just appears.
Do I get a saving throw on this? I can't remember.
Let's see. It is, yeah, it's a dexterity saving throw.
Dex saving throw. That is a 12.
That's a fail.
Okay, nice.
So 1d6 force damage. 2.
2 points of force damage. Not quite enough to kill this guy, but it looked like it nearly did. Like, you can see he's like kind of blown backwards, and you can see he's like blood splattered everywhere. He's just like, what was that? What's happening? We were told they were just some nobles. Like you can see, he's just, I didn't sign up for this. It looks, yeah, very much like he's about to run.
I like to imagine we can all hear the flump screaming, and we're like, Clyve's doing well.
Yeah. You hear that high pitch, like,
Wait.
noise.
I didn't know this part about that. Until your rage ends, you can use this effect again, summoning another spirit on each of your turns as a bonus action.
There you go.
What?
So you can just keep making exploding flumps.
A chorus of flumps.
And basically he would summon one, and at the end of his turn, it would blow up. It would just be like...
I didn't know that.
There you go. Well,
I feel like Clyve just figured that out.
Rage. Yeah. As long as you
I
keep
can
that
do
one.
it again.
Yeah. All right. So this guy, he used his call to attack, and then he's got his reaction ready to go. All right, Tarkle, your turn.
Okay, so now that Willowsong is near me, I still. Which one did she try to? Did she try to take over the mind of the hurt one or the non-hurt one?
Probably the non-hurt one. She would have picked the one, like, 'cause if that had worked, she would want the healthiest one to go and attack their friends.
So then I will go ahead and attack the damaged one already once again with a nice swipe of epilogue. Which I get advantage now, right? Because I have a
no, you don't have advantage, but you can sneak attack. That's the
that's what it is. Okay. I rolled a 16 plus 9.
You hit and you'll get sneak attack.
Okay, cool, sweet.
It's either you have advantage on the attack roll or you have an ally within 5 feet.
Gotcha. Okay. So that damage, the flat damage is 5, but then I'll roll 7d6, which is 23. So 28.
Jesus.
28 epilogue damage.
He's dead.
Let's go.
This time, like, you see, so as Willowsong kind of casts the spell, it distracts this guy. He's just like, I didn't realize they had another mage. And then that's enough time where, like, epilogue basically comes up into the neck through his mouth, like, and then just pulls it down. Blood kind of splashes over your feet as he slumps to the ground. And then you pull the blade out, ready to strike. Anything else on your turn? Because I know anything else you would like to do. It's still one engaged with you and Willow.
No, because there's one still here. I'm gonna stick around.
All right.
Yeah, I'll just do my turn.
All right. We have the thugs who are continuing their desperate assault against these nobles. So if I'm going to go through my head of where everybody is. So we've got one very badly burnt one in the room with Agnis, one in melee with Azara, and then one outside the room facing Azara. We've got one in the room with Clyve, and then one in the room with Tarkle currently. So Agnis, this guy is going to try to move up. He's going to engage you in melee. You still get the cover, but he's just going to try and smash you as best as he can. Oh, is he actually? He's pretty injured. I'm going to make a wisdom saving throw.
You did say he looked like he was going to leave.
I'm going to make a wisdom saving throw for this guy. I'm going to set it at DC 15. If he fails, he runs. If he succeeds, no, this guy runs. Like, he basically, like, you can see him. He's like badly burnt. He's just like, he looks at the rifle and he's like, finish her off. And he's like gonna hobble out, and the rifleman's like, where are you going? Stay back. And he like calls out, and then you hear him basically move out into the corridor. And that's gonna be his turn. He's gonna move out into the corridor, and he's gonna
good choice, sir.
So that guy's not attacking you. Azara, unfortunately, you have one in melee with you now, and one who's range attacking you, and these guys are in fighting condition, so they are going to attack.
Not for long. That's okay.
Hopefully not for long. The first one is a 15, which we now know misses because of your boosted AC. That's the first
and then
attack
also I'm at 19 because of the half cover.
Yep, that's true. Second one is also going to miss. So he's kind of like trying to swipe at you across the the cover itself, but you manage to kind of get the bedpost in the way. Every time he swings, like he's kind of like knocking into that. The other guy outside is going to keep trying to take shots at you though. Still get half cover. That's a natural 1 on the first attack. And then that is a natural 20 on the second.
No!
I'm sorry. It is.
No, it's not. I refuse. I unsubscribe.
Well, it's only fair. I literally rolled a natural 1 and a natural 20 on 2 attacks. That is going to be, with my crit rules, that is going to be 6, 12, 18.
I hate it when the crit rules apply to people other than us.
Yeah, I don't like that.
It's going to be 25 points of piercing damage.
Good thing. Yeah, Reenie, exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't like it.
That's not nice. But yeah, like as you're kind of fighting this other guy, that crossbow bolt thuds into your shoulder, like properly kind of like knocking you back, and it's now embedded in. You can feel like the blood trickling down. A hefty wound. Survivable. Yeah, very good job. That's those guys. Clyve, I'm going to make a wisdom saving throw for this guy as well. Why am I rolling physical dice? I literally have D&D Beyond right here.
It's never been easier.
Never been easier. That's a natural one. This guy is going to make a run for it, Clyve. He's going to disengage so you don't get an attack of opportunity, and he basically leaps over the bed and is running. He's just like, oh, I didn't sign up for this, and he's like basically goes to run, and he's making a break for it. He disengages, moves out into the corridor. That's his turn.
Would the difficult terrain do anything with that?
Does that not go away when you get a new effect?
It doesn't look like it. It says flowers and vines temporarily grow around you until your rage ends. Oh wait, no, we re-rolled again and that overrode it. So
yes,
never mind.
That's what I'm thinking is like it overwrites.
Gotcha.
It, okay. One. That's my understanding of it.
Disregard me.
Yeah, he technically probably would have just been able to get to the doorway. He still would have moved away from you, but yeah, he in this case he's going to make a run for it out into the corridor. And then lastly, we've got one fighting Tarkle, who is uninjured at this point in time. And yeah, he's going to swing, seeing you just killed his mate. He's just like, you killed Kevin.
Oh, rip
20,
Kevin.
21 to hit.
Kevin, yeah, 21 will hit. Uncanny dodge.
Uncanny dodge. So if you're going to uncanny dodge, I'll take all the damage. That's 15 total, so that would half to 7 points of damage total. Nice. And then his second attack is going to come for you as well, but that's only a 15 to hit.
15 does hit because I have no leather armor on, so I'm still kind of naked.
Yeah. So that is going to be another 14 points of damage, and you can you dodge that one.
Is Tarkle just fighting in his boxers right now?
He's pretty much just in boxers and a cloak, not his cloak, but a cloak.
It's like it's the bed sheet. He's got the bed sheet around him. Yeah. Nice. That is all of the thugs. Azara, we'll come to you next.
Azara's pissed.
Yeah.
So she's gonna reach over the bed to this guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're engaging you in melee.
Yeah, and I'm going to cast Inflict Wounds at the 6th level.
Okay.
That's 49 points of necrotic damage.
It is a melee touch attack, so you have to make a spell attack.
Right. Well, okay.
We'll keep that damage. So 49. Yep.
Okay, cool. That's an 18 plus 10. So that's a 28 to hit.
That will hit, and when you touch him, his skin blackens as if lightning courses through him from the inside.
Mm-hmm.
His eyes smoke, and he falls to the ground dead with 49 points of damage. Yeah, he just like collapses like and slams into the ground as you almost burn him from the inside out with the inflict wounds.
And I'm gonna stay in half cover, but as if I can intimidate as a bonus action.
You can try. I'd say it's harder as a bonus action because you only get like a word or two out. You can basically be like, you next or something.
Yeah, no,
like
essentially. That's exactly what Azara's gonna like growl from behind.
Give me an intimidation check. It'll be a higher DC because it's bonus action.
No worries.
The worst poker face. The worst poker face I think I can imagine. Yeah, like probably just still like your eyes glowing, crackling with lightning as the smoldering corpse of his ally is beneath you. You see fear, genuine, true, terrible fear fill this guy's eyes. And I'd say that is definitely going to change his attitude towards you.
That's my whole turn.
Yeah, that's it. That's a good turn. All right, we go to Agnis.
I am going to use one of my favorite spells, Heat Metal, on the rifle.
Oh, very good. Yeah, I love that.
Drop that thing.
Yeah, so what level are you casting at? And can you just give me the effects just so I remember?
I think I'm going to cast it high, actually. So let's do...
Just make sure it has an effect, so I can't remember if it does have an effect. Cast it up. I think it does.
What do you mean?
Not all spells have like an additional effect if you cast at high level, so I just want to check it does.
Yeah, it does. It does more damage.
Yeah, nice. That's perfect.
So I'll add 1 level. So I'll cast it at 3rd level.
Okay.
And so he will take 3d8 fire damage as the rifle heats up in his hand.
Yeah, and it's on when you cast a spell. Yep, and then bonus action on each turn, keep it hot, and then if he keeps holding it, then yeah, basically has to make a Make a thing. Yeah.
It's 18 plus the enhanced bond because I did do fire damage with a spell. So an additional 6. So that's 24 from heat metal.
24 points of damage. The other thing I'm going to say is you're casting heat metal on a gunpowder rifle.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna have this guy make a dex saving throw. What's your spell save DC?
17.
17. I have him make a dex saving throw. On a success, he manages to like drop or throw the rifle at like knowing it's going to explode. Like he's like quick enough to like get it away from him. Otherwise, he's basically just going to blow up in his face and he's going to take a bunch of damage, right?
Cool. I like it.
That's awesome.
That was a natural 20 on my saving throw. So he does manage to throw away. I'd say he takes half damage. So roll 66 for me, Anna. And he'll take
1, 2,
half
3,
of
4,
this.
5, 6.
Yeah.
That's
So he
going to be a
manages to, like,
total of 18, so he'll take 9.
He'll take 9 points. So he does manage to kind of like throw the rifle away from him, but it does still kind of like blow, and shrapnel kind of like cases him and stuff like that. Kind of throws him against the wall.
If he throws it, does it hit the other guy? Oh no, he went out in the corridor.
He ran out into the corridor. Yeah, he's probably gonna throw it like into the room, like to the side, like to try and get like he's smart enough to try and put it in a position where it's not gonna hurt anybody else.
Sure.
But yeah, he definitely still takes a little bit. And you can see him kind of like reeling a little bit, and he's like maybe fumbling, reaching for like another weapon and stuff at the time being.
And then
anything else
Kander's
you would
going to
like to do?
spit in his face with Flame Seed. So
Love it.
that's plus 9 to hit. So it will be a dirty 20.
That will hit just actually.
And then that's going to do a little extra d6 plus 5 fire damage. So that's going to be 6 fire damage.
Hey, six fire damage. It all adds up. So you see, like, Kandor kind of like spits this little kind of seed of fire at him, kind of catches maybe his cloak and stuff on fire, and just like trying to put it out. Not quite bloodied. He's not like injured. Like this is the first kind of like damage he's taken. But more that now he doesn't have his rifle. He's like fumbling for another weapon, basically. All right. End of turn, Agnes. All right. The rifle guy, the gunslinger. He's going to kind of look around, and you can see he has like a knife, kind of like a short sword on him. But he's actually going to run and sort of slide over and grab the crossbow of the one who. Oh no, the other guy ran away. He's not dead, so he doesn't do that. He just pulls his short sword out, and he's going to kind of like look over. He's going to be like, "You're going to regret that," and he's going to leap towards you and try and swing at you with his short sword with 2 attacks. So the first one is a 22 to hit.
Yep.
That's going to be 5 points of piercing damage. And then the second one is
he
a
takes
13.
3d6 fire damage,
Fire damage.
which will be 13.
13 points. Yeah, he kind of regrets this now. And then the second one was only a 13 to hit.
My armor class is 13.
Okay, but you have cover, right? Because you said you went into cover. So yeah, okay, in that case, it doesn't hit you. Kind of like stabs into the wooden sort of barricade that you've constructed for yourself. But yeah, unable to fully strike. And that is going to be his turn. Willow Song's turn. Tarkle, you're not too hurt yet, are you?
I'm not bloodied.
No.
So
and you've killed one guy. There's one guy left. She will cast... she's going to try and cast Hold Person on this guy. Try and paralyze him, which will make it much easier for you to finish him off. So it's going to be a Wisdom saving throw. That is going to be a 15, which is not enough. So you watch as she kind of like reaches up with a clawed hand, whispers something in Draconic, like, and you just watch as this guy's body like seizes up. And she'll just kind of like stand up, almost like brush herself off and be like, you can finish him now, Tarkle. And just be like, and she starts walking out like of the room, like to make her way towards the corridor, basically.
sweet.
And you just watch as he's just like frozen in place, like just his eyes are able to move. Clyve of the Wild Mane.
So the one guy left.
Yes. He left your room. Yeah, he ran out into the corridor. Yep. There's nobody else in your room, it seems like.
I'll run out, see if I can.
Yeah. So
find
you
him.
move out. Yeah, you move out into the corridor, and you see, because this is a different zone, you can see that now that big bald guy with a hammer, he's out here. As is the little guy that ran away from you, and the guy that ran away from Agnis, they're all now out in this corridor, basically. Everybody else is in the equivalent rooms. The 2 thugs look pretty beaten up and injured, like they look badly hurt. The big bald guy doesn't look hurt at all, but he's kind of like trying to command it and organize the battle. And yeah, he's just going to sort of like whip around and kind of see you there. But you've got target-rich environment, three targets in this corridor. Two very injured little thugs, and then this big guy.
Priority would be finishing what I started. So if I see the guy that ran off.
Yeah, he's like looking at you like, oh no. Like, just for flavor as well, this corridor, like there's like busts and like columns and things on either side. Like there's big heavy kind of curtains and windows. Lots of cool stuff if you wanted to use any of that. But if you just want to run up and smash face, you can smash face.
Let's make this a fun sequence.
Okay.
Because I get to attack, so assuming he's really, really hurt, I'm gonna attempt to just kind of like just give him a quick swipe by. I guess this would be a Clyve by, and take him down on my way to the big guy.
Like a clothesline, like you just run down the corridor like with one arm out and like knock him to the side.
Oh, that's even better than using my sword.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like, is this like an unarmed strike, or are you gonna like use your sword, or like do you want to like pick up a bust and like smash him with a bust, or like I don't know, what did you want to do?
I don't know how much information I could tell from this, but does he look maybe within 7 hit points of death?
Oh, I'd say maybe. It looks pretty close, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna like basically run through him as my unarmed strike.
Yeah, just like smash his head into the wall or something. Yeah, give me an attack roll. Let's see if
that's a 13
total.
Yeah.
You think it's probably his fear. You don't think it's an actual like he did this on purpose. His knees buckle in fear. And that means that like your hand just like goes over his head and he just like drops underneath it because it just misses him. AC of 16.
All right. Well, still gonna go for the big guy if I can.
Yes, and then you just charge straight past him, straight towards the big guy. Love it.
Would that provoke any attack of opportunity?
I was thinking of that. It probably would. I'm gonna make another wisdom saving throw.
Because there's 2 guys out here, right?
Yeah, but there's only
3.
I'd say that you'd get 1. Like, oh, okay, this guy like as you go past. He is actually, this is the guy that like you were fighting and like ducked under your attack. He like tries to whack you in the back of the leg, like with an attack opportunity.
Okay.
But it's only a 9. He fails. It's just like...
Okay. Then I'm gonna swing
up to the big lad. Yeah. You can see this guy's got like actual like plate. It looks like he's got like half plate or breastplate underneath his soft armor.
It's a 17 to hit.
Is that total?
Yeah, low rolls.
Yeah, this time he actually, that big hammer, he kind of blocks your strike and it doesn't quite connect. He's just like, should have expected that little worm can deal with you.
Well, then I'm gonna go ahead and Daunting Roar. Just let out a big wall rumbling.
Yeah, give me, what's the area effect on this? Is it like every creature within a certain radius and stuff?
Creatures of your choice within 10 feet that can hear you.
Okay, I'd say this is going to be the 3 enemies in the corridor then. So, and it's wisdom saving throw, yeah?
Yep, 19.
19 wisdom saving throw. This guy does have advantage against fear. Frightened effect. That's going to be a 17 or a 18. Did you say DC 19 or DC 18?
19.
DC 19, yeah, he fails. And then the little guys, these guys do not have advantage. That's going to be a fail for one guy. And fail. All 3 of them fail. So like as you come down, you just let out this roar. Their eyes go wide. You see their pupils dilate as they look in you, just kind of covered in blood and fur, and just looking like, you know, some beast sort of tearing through this corridor. They are terrified.
Hell yeah.
They're all frightened. Nice, excellent. Anything else on your turn, Clyve?
No, that'll be it.
And you moved up to this guy because you attacked him, right? So you're next to him, and then you roared. Okay. So he can't move closer to you, but as you're already next to him, he can still technically attack you. He just has disadvantage on any attack rolls to do so. He is going to... But I think what he's going to do instead is he's going to use his call to attack action, and he's going to call out to those surviving... the sort of surviving guys who aren't frightened, which is going to be the one fighting Azara And actually, the other two ran away and are just as frightened. So no, he won't do that. He's just going to attack you with his hammer, even at disadvantage.
Cool.
So he's going to swing his hammer at you with disadvantage. For a first one's going to be, that's actually, no, I'm going to roll disadvantage just in case. Yep. So the first one is a miss. That was a natural 20 on the second one as well. Second one is a miss. That's 2. And then the next one, the last attack is going to be a, let's see, with the disadvantage. Nope, that's going to be a miss as well. So like trembling, like his strikes are just so easy to read and parry, and like you're just blocking them as these 3 heavy hammer strikes just go wide, or you're able to turn them aside through just a glare at this this big fella as he looks at you terrified.
Oh, don't forget you can also call another flump.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I have done that?
It's a bonus action, so you daunted ward,
I
so
daunted
you
ward.
Oh, never mind. Well, for next time.
Next time.
All right, Tarkle. It is your go, my guy.
Okay, this guy is just sitting here, and
so he is paralyzed, which means I'm going to grab the exact wording on paralyzed, because I think it means you automatically crit against it.
Oh my god.
Yeah. A paralyzed creature is incapacitated. The creature automatically fails strength and dexterity saving throws. Attack rolls against it have advantage. Any attack that hits a creature is a critical hit if the attacker is within 5 feet. So if you attack this guy, you have advantage, and it's a crit.
Okay,
so he's dead.
I would like to
it depends on what Tarkle does.
No.
I would like to pull out my Kiss of Silver and put Epilogue away. And I would like to, can I crit while withholding lethal?
Yeah, I'd say you can. Yeah, you can non-lethally crit. Yeah, absolutely.
I want one of these goons alive to question. So yeah, I will. Absolutely. I'm gonna roll. I rolled a 21.
You have advantage. Yeah, I mean you're gonna crit anyway. So and it's sneak attack crit. So I'm just gonna say he's knocked out. Like you just on the back of the head. Yeah, just completely out cold.
And then can I
but alive?
Yes. Can I use like a bonus action to tie him up with the rope that I have in my room, because Agnes's house obviously has rope in every room.
Oh my. I mean, I think you have rope in your pack, or like you could cut the bed sheet up or something like that. Yeah, I'd say you can. You spend your bonus action to like tie him up, basically, like pull a rope out of your pack and very quick. But he's unconscious, like he's not going to be going anywhere anytime soon.
Cool. So I'll make sure, right. and then I'm gonna walk out into the corridor.
Okay, so you and Willowsong are basically at the same point. You're going to enter the corridor together, basically.
Yep.
Alrighty. I think at this point, the 2 thugs who are frightened run for the exit. They're going to run for the stairs. They just bomb it. They're terrified of Clyve. They can't get closer to him. They're already injured. I'm just going to say they're going to dash. They just run. So as far as, unless you guys want to chase them, those 2 thugs are out of the fight. They are fled, completely gone. Which means that we have one guy fighting Azara, and then the big guy left, and then the gunslinger, the rifleman. So Azara, there's just this one guy left that's going to fight you, and seeing all this action go into the corridor, he's going to step in and pull out the cudgel, and he's going to try and rush towards you to make a melee attack against you. 2 melee attacks with his extra attack. First one is a miss, only a 9. And then the second one is also think a miss, because that's only a 12. So kind of like smashing into the cover. You're like, pulling pieces of the bed and, kind of like deflecting his blows away, avoiding that as they do so. And then we go to your turn, Azara. Then it will be Agnis.
Azara is going to reach out and grab this guy's throat and say, I told you you were next, and cast Inflict Wounds at the 4th level.
Don't forget, spell attack first.
Yeah,
so see if it hits.
Yeah, let's do that. Another 18 plus 10, so there's a 28.
That's going to hit. Yep.
Cool. That's 35 points of necrotic damage.
35 points, which is 1 point more than what he had health-wise. He had 34 HP left. So again, yeah, you kind of like grip the throat and you watch again that kind of like burning sensation kind of like lighting him up from the inside as you inflict wounds and kill him dead. Very dead. No non-lethal for this one.
And then Azara's gonna brush off her hands, come out from behind cover, brush off her dress, kind of brush off the blood from all of her cuts, and walk out the door.
You still have a crossbow bolt sticking out your shoulder.
Yeah, she's gonna rip it out.
So badass.
Nice, badass. Love it. All right, in that case, we go to Agnis. You have this rifle guy with a short sword, like this kind of like Bowie knife, who's kind of solid snake CQCing, trying to get you. CQC.
I want to be super Halloween spooky, and I want to come out from under the desk with primal savagery. Like my nails extend and my fangs come out and my eyes go black.
Nice.
You know, and just scratch them.
Yeah, I love it.
That's going to be only a 13 to hit, though.
Only a 13. Unfortunately, this guy's pretty nimble on his feet, and almost like a dancer, he kind of like pirouettes his legs, like managing to like back away from you and kind of brings the knife up to defend himself.
But hopefully he's a little spooked.
Oh, he's definitely spooked. Yeah, like he's
Great.
like looking at you like, what the hell? Like you're supposed to be this like noble woman that he was sent here to kill. He was not expecting any of this. Like you made his gun blow up, and now you're like turned into some sort of monster shadow beast. He's terrified.
Yeah.
Do you want Kando to shoot?
Yeah. Candor will still just patooey. Actually, no. I'm gonna transport. No, because he could just get back in melee with me anyway. I'll just stay here. Yeah, we'll do the little
flame seed.
Yeah, flame seed. So Candor rolls a 12 plus 9, so 21 to hit.
21 will hit. Yep.
And that will do 9 fire damage.
9 fire damage. I'm gutted that primal savagery didn't hit. That sucks.
It was cool looking, at least.
It's very cool looking. Very, very cool looking. All right, end of turn, Agnis?
Yeah.
All right, this rifleman is just going to try and... He's just swinging for you now at this point. I'm just going to rattle through these attacks. 2 attacks with the short sword. 25 on the first one. For 6 points of piercing damage. Ho-ho.
And then he takes that 3d6.
He takes 3d6. And we'll see if this kills him, because I just rolled a natural 20 on his second attack, so...
That's going to be... Yeah, 7 fire damage.
7. Not enough to kill him, which means you're going to take 10... sorry, it's going to be 6. 13 more points of piercing damage. So he like gets engulfed by the flames, but in the fight he just thrusts his blade and catches you along the side, like digging into your ribs, as you're desperately trying to fend him off as he's trying to, like, you know, stab you on the bed, Halloween style. Meanwhile, Willow Song is going to move out into the corridor. She's going to kind of like look and see that Clyve has this like big man handled pretty well. And she's going to look in, and seeing both Azara and Agnis, you're both in pretty bad condition, but Agnis is still in combat. She's going to use her bonus action to use Healing Vines. So she kind of plants her hand on the ground, Agnis, and you see all these like flowers and vines kind of go along your limbs, and she's going to heal you.
Cool.
For only 8 hit points, I'm afraid, but it's something.
8 is something.
And then the one who's attacking you, that was a bonus action. She's going to use her... She's going to cast Blight on. Which is a fail. So this is 8d8. Against the Gunslinger. For 41 points of damage.
Damn.
And you'll probably see her, like, she like looks at you, Agnis, and like as these vines kind of like wrap around you and heal you. And then she's going to look at this thing and just be like, die. And then you just watch as he like shrivels up like a gourd that's been shrunk in the sun. Like all the moisture's just pulled out of him, and he just thumps, you know, like a mummy, like dissected and dried out like a husk. And just thumps next to you on the ground. And then someone will look back.
I won't even pretend like Agnis wants to be like, I had it, but she's like, thanks.
yeah, that's fine. And like she just like Willowsong just nods at you like, yep, no worries. All right, Clyve, you got this very frightened man in front of you.
I'm going to attack him recklessly.
Sure. Let's go. I want to see that big crit.
Let's see. Okay, 15, 16. Oh, sorry, it rolled twice. It's 16 plus 12, so 28.
That's a hit, yeah. Sure. You have advantage as well, so like I'm assuming
that was with advantage.
Nice.
Boop.
Normal hit.
So 10 plus 13.
13 points of damage. Kind of cuts through, digs into his flesh. Still, still fighting, but.
Well, I'm gonna hit him again.
Swing again.
That's a 29 to hit.
Yep, still hits. Yeah. I just want to see that big Clyve crit.
No crits for me today. 12 plus 3, 15.
Yeah. So you watch, and this time the blade cuts through, and like blood begins really heavily pouring out. And you can see this guy is like hunched over, very badly wounded. He's now bloodied.
He like looks down at his wound while fighting, and then looks back up, and in front of him is a flump.
Screaming funk. Nice. And then your turn's going to end, so the funk blows up. This guy is, it's a failure on the saving throw.
All right, force damage, 2.
2 points of force damage. Just like knocks him in the face, like maybe bloodies his nose. He's like, what the hell? What are you people? As he just is absolutely terrified. He's still frightened, I believe. Does the daunting roar, is that like, how long does that last?
That lasts. That's a good question. 10 feet, confront until the end of your next turn, so it's over.
Okay, so it's now over. So he's gonna kind of like shake himself and see that he's surrounded. I think
the flump like sobered him up.
Like, yeah, he's like blinks away, and he kind of like blinks away the fear. He looks around. All of his men are basically dead at this point. And I think that he will. Let me make a little intelligence check for this guy. How smart is he? Yeah, okay. No, he basically he will drop the hammer and he raises his hands. He's like, I surrender. I'll let me live and I'll tell you what I know. Just let me live. I was sent here. I was paid. He's just like, it's nothing personal. He's just like, yeah.
I'm not out there, right? I'm still behind the desk.
You are currently in the room. Pretty much that is going to drop us out of combat because he is basically surrendering at this point. He's not going to continue the fight. But it's up to you guys. Like, I mean, it would technically be Tarkle's turn next. So his turn is to surrender. If we stay in initiative, then Tarkle is next, and Tarkle will decide what
if we have someone who's conscious and willing to talk, I don't think Tarkle would be a sneaky boy and murder face him right now. So I would accept his surrendering.
Okay, nice. All right. So you say like, yep, okay. Right,
I guess I would walk up to him and like kick his knee. I would just, when you kick the back of someone's knee, get him on the knees.
Yeah, and he kind of like he accepts that. Like you get the impression that he's been the one doing the kicking in the past. So he's just like, yeah, okay, I know how this goes. He like puts his hands behind his back. He like doesn't resist. He's just like, oh, just let me live. I know about the attacks. He's like saying, like, he's basically like, you want to let me live? He's pleading for his life at this point. All right, and then we'll drop out of combat. We'll drop out of initiative at that point, unless anybody is like, unless Clyve's like, no, I'm gonna kill this man, or unless Azara's like, no, murder time.
If Tarkle's doing stuff, then
you see like Tarkle come up and like kind of push him into the ground and like begin binding his hands and stuff behind his neck. And
Agnis will kind of come out of the room like wiping a bloody nose, and just like fold her arms and watch what Tarkle's gonna do.
Yeah, Azara will do the same while also like casting Cure Wounds on herself and on Agnis, and like just pretty much patching everybody up, making sure everyone's okay. And then we'll hand Tarkle very quietly a long robe. He's in the hallway with his boxers on.
Yeah. I like to imagine that Agnis has got like a fluffy dressing gown kind of thing. Like, you didn't have your armor, so you've got like a tied dressing gown on.
Yeah.
Clyve's just in his armor, and Azara's basically just wearing what Azara always wears anyway.
Yeah. And so Azara's just like reaches over and is just like, try not to make a big scene of it, so he still seems intimidating to this big dude, and just like hands him a rope.
Yep.
How much is that Cure Wounds for?
Let's see. I'll cast it at 3rd level. I'll give you a hot. Let's see. Where is that? Where is my Cure Wounds? There it is. 48 plus 2. You did 13. You got a 13.
Thanks.
13. All right.
So who is it that sent you and your men?
Who do you think? Davian, the one who's attacking the town. But he'll kind of like look up. And he's like, you shouldn't waste too much time with me. Just leave me here. We're not the only ones attacking,
What? The town?
And he looks towards the rest of the Crownsilver estate.
Oh god.
Just like,
hurry,
you might be able to stop them.
This is a big old house, huh?
It's 3 houses. It's like 3 manor houses in an estate, basically. And
do we hear any ruckus?
I mean, yeah. Now that this fight is over, Agnis, like you hear the distant screams of like house staff. Your parents will be in this building somewhere, the building that you're currently in, but Oberyn will be in another building, like somewhere else. And you can definitely hear. And in actually Agnis, because you've got really high perception, don't you? You've got really high pass perception. Not just here, like you can actually hear distant fight. You can hear the sounds of like distance, like fighting noises and stuff coming from the city as well. And like glancing out the window, it doesn't look like the whole city is under attack, but you can see like fires have broken out in parts of the city. You can hear the clashing of like, you know, soldiers fighting against people and stuff like that. It definitely looks like something is going down.
I'll run and grab my armor and put it on as I'm running. And we brought the Tressim, our Tressim.
You've got your Tressim, yes, which are stabled in the estate stables, yes.
And do we have a contingent with us, like a
Not yet. They have not arrived.
Oh, they haven't arrived yet. Okay.
No. You have the Tressim Knights are here, but they're stationed at another barracks. They wouldn't be staying at the Crownsilver estate. But you have your Tressim here.
I grab a servant of some kind, someone.
You haven't seen any. Like at this point, like in this part of the house, like right now, we're just in this corridor where you guys have been sleeping. You've not seen any of the other house staff. You've not seen your parents. You don't know what else is happening here at this point.
All right. Well, I'm putting on my armor and I'm running through the house. And what I'm trying to do is find someone to go, like send a message to the Tressim Knights to like activate and protect the city.
Okay.
And then I am going to call everyone with me to run toward the closest noise of battle on the estate.
Okay. The closest noise, if you all kind of go with Agnis, I'm assuming, it's not difficult to find. Oh, go on, Tarkle.
Before we leave, Tarkle does stab the man with epilogue.
Ooh,
which one?
Edgy
Which one?
boy.
The one that
The one
said
who surrendered?
you should just leave me here. His last word he said to me was, "You should just leave me here." I said, "Okay, I will," and then he's just gonna.
Agnis doesn't see that.
Yeah, Willowsong does though. Yeah, so like, what is this just like? Is this like Saving Private Ryan, like hand over the mouth and just slide the blade in and like and just leave and then just walk away? Like, yeah,
I'm
Willowsong,
still there, right?
Yeah, probably. I mean, yeah, like I think Clyve, like the other, like I think Azara and Clyve.
Oh yeah.
Unless Tarkle wants to do this quietly, in which case I'll just have Shady make a
No,
stealth
it's
roll.
not. It's not that he just wasn't making it a big deal. It was just
he's
just
like
kind of pissed him off.
Yeah, okay. So I'd say that Agnis is the only one who doesn't really see this, because Agnis is like worrying about what's happening in the city and like thinking about the house and stuff like that. But the others like see it. Willowsong just very implacidly just like nods her head like, good.
Azara does the exact same. She like nods with respect, like, yeah, you're right.
Clyve just kind of brutal.
Brutal.
You know when Clyve says it's brutal, that it was something.
If after that you kind of all gather up and you go sort of like in following in Agnes's footstep, it does not take long, because the nearest sound of fighting is coming from your parents, like the sort of lounge, almost like a kind of downstairs, like maybe your father's art like not art gallery but like art workshop. And when you rush there, you can see you find a number of dead house guards. Like, you know, these would have been lower level, kind of like low ranked soldiers, kind of like just stationed within the house to kind of like, you know, be attendants more than anything. You find a bunch of them dead in the corridors. You can see that they've had like their throats slit, or they've been poisoned or shot with bolts, things like that. Like, this is definitely like a coordinated attack. But you hear the sound of fighting, and you actually hear your mother like literally in battle cry, like, get away from us, like kind of ching, ching, ching. You can hear like the sounds of her fighting. You can hear a couple of sounds of like guards, don't give up, like kind of, you can hear like the sounds of like, you know, coordinated defense. And as you make your way in, you see your father, Dusk, a few kind of like house servants, kind of like staff, like waiting handmaidens and butlers and things like that, all kind of crouched behind a sort of rough barricade of sorts that's been like assembled out of furniture. And your mother, with a slender kind of silvery rapier, just in like her dressing gown and like nightgown kind of thing, is basically, along with two injured looking guards, is fending off three more of those kind of like thug looking ones that you dispatched earlier. And you can see that they're maybe looking a little bit more bloodied and a bit more beaten up. They don't look as experienced as the ones you fought. So we're not going to roll combat, because if you guys springing a surprise on these guys, if you attack them, these enemies will they're going to be like one hit downs. Like, you know, they're no match for you guys.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so like with a couple of blasts of magic and like Clyve coming in, he swings the sword. Like between the group of you, you dispatch these remaining attackers with ease, to the relief of your parents, who are just sort of like breathing heavily, kind of looking at you, just like, oh, I can't believe it. This is where I've got to bloody look up their names again because I keep forgetting your parents' names. I have them here somewhere.
Mr. and Mrs. Crownsilver.
No, it is Dahlan and Vanathia. So Vanathia, your mother, kind of like sort of like helps you finish them off, and like she kind of like takes a breath and she's like, "Oh, children, oh, thank goodness you're here. Thank the gods. Are you all right? Are any of you hurt?" And she sort of like sees, like, you know, you can see Azara's got like a bloodied bandage around like your crossbow bolt, and you can see Agnis is like been heavily sort of like cut and beaten and bruised, and she'll sort of like reach out and like pull you in, Agnis, if you don't resist.
Did you say it's Dahlan and Valathia?
Vanathia,
because I had Valen and Dalathia, so I didn't know my parents' names either. So right. Dahlan and
Dahlan is your father, and Vanathia is the mother.
Vanathia.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you can see that like your father, who's not a warrior of any kind, he's an artist. Like he's just like in total shock, just like doesn't even know what to say. Dusk will kind of like look over and be like, "My lord and lady, oh thank you so much." And you can see that like he's even like, you can see like, you know, he had like his little cane sword out, but he was just like trying his best to like not get too involved. But yeah, like you kind of rush over and like your mother will be like, "Is everything all right? Are you all fine, aren't you?" And she kind of looks over and she's like, "Yes, of course you are. Oh, by the gods, what's happening?"
Agnis just like, "I'm fine. Dusk, we need you to go find someone to activate the Tress of Knights. The city's under attack as well, and we need to check the next building over." Yeah, Rylo's activated.
Yes, the dogs, like you can hear like the hounds have like, you know, maybe a couple of soldiers like come in and like, "My lady, are you all right?" Yeah, and like Dusk is just like, "Yes,
Niski,
yes, of course, my lady," and he'll sheath his little kind of sword cane, and he'll kind of pull himself up. You can see he's fully dressed, by the way. It looks like, you know, this is the middle of the night. And he's just like ready to go, like he's ready for an evening stroll. And he'll like kind of like compose himself. He's just like, yes. I'll make my way into the city. If Lady Vanathia, do you have guards that could escort me at least? And she's like, yes, of course. Go with him. And she dispatches a couple of the guards, like send word to the keep, let them know what's happened in the district. And they'll basically run off as soon as you kind of direct them to. But yeah. And then what do you guys want to do after that? Is this like just go towards elsewhere in the city, or is this like head towards another noble manor, or like go towards Bryn's estate?
Is that the last commotion we hear on the Crownsilver estate?
Yeah, the Bryn's main Crownsilver house is definitely still under attack, and again, just to kind of speed things up, you guys make your way through there. I would say maybe mark off 2 hit dice each, rather than like spending actual hit points. Just remove some hit dice as if you'd spent them during a short rest, to represent kind of you guys fighting through lower level, kind of like lower ranked like thugs and mercenaries to basically get to and rescue Bryn. You finished your encounter very quickly. You dispatched enough enemies that it's not a threat. You managed to, just by kind of expending a bit of effort, you guys managed to get there. You rescue Bryn, who was also being attacked, along with several other members of the family. And the Crownsilver estate is now secured. Like, you've dealt with the main force that was attacking it here. And it doesn't look like it's under constant attack. It looks like this was an assassination attempt, like a sneak attack, basically, to try and wipe out various things. What you do find is, after you deal with Bryn, unless there's anything you want to ask Bryn or do with Bryn, if you make your way outside, you will find a messenger waiting for you. You will find, I've got to check his name, a very familiar looking halfling riding a large St. Bernard riding dog, Captain Drongo Burrowfoot, that you met at the gate, with a small contingent of what look to be scouts. They don't look like actual soldiers. They look like messengers and scouts. And he basically is like, my lord and lady Crownsilver, Magister, Clyve, I've been sent to inform you immediately of what's been happening in the city. You all well? We were worried that you might have been caught up in these attacks.
We're fine.
Are you all... right. I'm afraid it's not good. It seems that there's a number of issues across the city. We thought that several members of the War Council we've been trying to contact them. You were on our list, and I've been sent to dispatch to you. It seems that attacks all over the city. The other noble houses are all being attacked. Several of the others, all the different members of the Cormyrian nobility have suffered a similar attack to you. We're trying to rally soldiers to go and rescue them. But at the same time, the docks, a number of our ships and merchant vessels at the docks have been attacked by mercenaries and rioters. but perhaps more worryingly, the castle. We can't reach anyone at the castle. We've attempted to send sending spells to the mages there, and we're receiving no response. We're trying to establish task force and send people where they need to go, but we could certainly use a bit of experience and a bit of leadership right now, my lady. And he sort of like takes his little hat and he wipes his little balding head. He's just like, I'm afraid that a lot of our commanders are we're caught unawares. They're asleep, or they're in different parts of the city, or they're not even here. They were scouting out the battlefield for the upcoming battle. We're a bit of a pickle, I'm afraid. We could use a bit of leadership. And this is where, dear players, I hand it over to you before we finish this episode to decide what you would like to do in the next episode.
Agnis looks to Azara, who is the war strategy whiz, and is like, we should go to the castle, and you can let our knights know. Our knights are being rallied as we speak, and they can go to the docks.
Azara will nod immediately and say, that was my exact thought, Lady Crownsilver. Well done. We should focus our powers and our forces on making sure that the queen is safe.
Okay. So I clarify. You guys want to go to the castle, and then you're going to basically send word for like your forces, your Tressum Knights, which is only a small unit, to try and do what they can to assist the docks. Would you like to do anything else? I will make one point here before we wrap up. Whichever you pick, there will be consequences. There are, because and Drongo will even kind of like, and Willowsong would probably kind of like also help fill in on this. Willowsong might say, my concern is if we do not assist the noble houses, they are the ones who control vast amounts of our military, our soldiers. They are all private armies. If we do not help them, we may lose significant amounts of our allies in this battle. The docks, if we lose our ability to control the lake, the Dragonmere, then Davian's forces will have free reign to cross it as they need to. As much as I agree that we should indeed help the queen, if there will be consequences no matter what we do. We need to decide what is more important. I can assist with one of these. Perhaps I could go and do what I can to assist. I could not come with you to the castle, but it is up to you. If you have any other resources or allies to call upon, you may also be able to rally them. But do be aware, whichever we pick here, we will have to simply deal with whatever comes afterwards.
Well, my first thought was to help the queen, as we're here in her service, but my priority is to help the people, and it seems that there will be a lot of common people caught in the crossfire at the docks. So that's my concern.
Yes.
Willowsong also makes a point with the nobles, however, because if we lose the battle now, we will lose the war in the future.
We will lose a large amount of our military forces. We may still have a fighting chance, but we would certainly be on the back foot. But at the same time, if we lose Queen, well, the last thing we need now is a challenge to leadership. Even if she is injured, that would be disastrous for us. Where do you wish to focus your efforts? You could split up. You could send some of you to one place and others to another. You could send me somewhere. You could send the knights to another. But it really matters what we pick here.
Perhaps we could send you to try to assist and coordinate the noble houses.
Yes, I will do what I can.
Agnis is always looking at Azara when she says these things, because she knows she's in charge, but she's trying to be like, what should I do, Azara?
Azara will sigh. And how big is our Tressum force?
It's a small elite unit.
Yeah.
It is not going to be. It will have an effect wherever you send it, but on its own, probably not going to be able to deal with an entire problem. The other things I will mention is Willowsong could, in theory, take her dragon form, which would obviously be much more powerful, but that would then reveal what she is. That is another thing as an option for you. Or you could split up. That's the other thing as well. Is like, we could, it doesn't necessarily have to even be like a full session. We could just basically be like, right, well, Tarkle's going to go and do this thing, which means that he's late to arrive to help you with this other thing, or like, blah, blah, blah. Or we could do a multi-split session again. It's up to you. Really your choice.
What about Kate's character, the dragon? She's in town.
Lolathea, yeah, she's in town, but like, as far as you don't know where she is. If you could get a message to her, like if you have the ability to contact her, you could try.
Yeah, don't we have a way to contact her? I mean, I have a sending stone. I have that on my person.
I believe that is connected to
Melodonus.
Yes, to Melodonus.
Yeah,
You got
right.
Melodonus. You could ring Melodonus up. He's a powerful wizard. Like, you could be like, hey, we need you in Suzail now. Come here.
Yeah, I think that's
come and help with this.
Because he can teleport. So I would call him immediately and say, you and whoever you can bring with you.
Yeah, he can basically bring your 7 best fighters. So he'll probably bring Alyssa and like the 7 best fighters to form a small unit.
Yeah, I would say get here now.
Okay, where do you want him to go? Because he'll basically go to, like, if you say go help the nobles, he'll go help the nobles. If you go to the docks, he'll go to the docks. If you want him to go to help the queen, he'll go.
I would have him go help the nobles, so the Tressum Knight can help the docks, so we as a full party can go to the castle.
All right, is that Tarkle, Clyve, anything you guys want to add or questions you guys got?
I think Tarkle usually relies on Agnis and Azara for these things. I also do agree, though, if the queen is killed, then Damien can just walk in.
Yeah. All right.
Also, the queen is aware of Shadowbriar's true form, so if we must, that would be the best place to reveal it.
Yeah. So you want Willowsong to come with you to the castle?
Yeah,
I think.
smart.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
all
that's
right.
smart.
In that case, you guys can take a short rest, not a long rest, but a short rest. And then that's going to be, this is like a heroic short rest. Like, this isn't going to be like an hour-long short rest. This is like a rally point video game save point banner short rest to get some stuff back and some hit points. But then it's going to be straight on to rescuing Castle Oberskier for our next session. And that's going to be us done for Knights of Eveningstar this week. We're going to have really rapid shout-outs. We're going to start with myself. I'm going to start with me for my shout-outs because the others are all doing their short rest. So, hey, my name's Mark SherlockHulmes. You can catch me. I do a show called High Rollers D&D. It's another D&D show. It's available as a podcast. It's available on YouTube. It's available on Twitch. Every Sunday, 5 p.m. UK time. You can come and check us out. High Rollers D&D. Find us pretty much everywhere on the internet. You can also follow me, Sherlock_Hulmes on Twitter. SherlockHulmes with an underscore somewhere in it on other platforms. Figure it out. It's a mystery. That's going to be it. I'm going to tag Shady because he looks the most ready to go.
Hi, guys. You can call me ShadyPenguinn. You can find me at ShadyPenguinn on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram. I play a lot of video games. I stream at them a lot, and I am very tired all the time. I tag Anna.
Hey, if you like pets and you like D&D and it's also spooky season and you like to be sustainable and have your pets wear costumes that you will use throughout the year as opposed to just once and throw away, you may want to consider visiting cantripbrand.com and having your familiar dress as a human. As a gamer, yes. Waffles the Owlbear says go to cantripbrand.com.
I thought that was Nitsky.
I thought it was Nitsky.
This is Nitsky's jacket, actually.
Yeah.
So
it's because the little paws are the same color. I thought it was Nitsky.
You should see this. They're having a moment. Look. Oh, dang it. You can't see this. Never mind.
Never mind.
Well, they're having a moment on my desk. And you'll never see me again. There we go. Okay. Yeah. And you can find me at Anna Prosser. I tag Nate.
Hello. Cantripbrand.com. I'm also involved with that kind of. And I also have a new album that's out called Scrap Heap. If you like metalcore, then go check it out. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen to stuff. And it's going to be my last album for probably a very long time. So there you go. I tag. Who could I possibly tag? I have no. Okay. Mica.
Hi, it's me. I'm Mica Burton. You can find me at Mica Burton. That's it. I don't. Everything's in DA. Goodbye.
Nice. All right. Well, thanks very much, everybody. We will see you next time for more Knights of Eveningstar in this our final season. Take care. We love you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Oh, yeah, that's me. Hold on. I'll do that.
Please leave this in.